Hello, welcome to another weekly episode of the Beer Fridge podcast. On this week's episode, we go back to Cali.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, your whole real beer, real breweries, real opinion, the Beer Fridge podcast. As always, if you listen to this episode, make sure you subscribe, hit that ding-a-ling-a-ling to be notified of every single episode. If you're watching on YouTube or watching on Spotify as well, make sure you do the same. Also, you can show your support by giving us a 5-star rating. You can show your unofficial support by doing that, and show your official support, by going to patreon.com/Beer Fridge podcast. My name's Gavin. I've got my usual drinking friends. I've got MD. I've got Callum. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Oi.
Hello.
It's a good friend Andre from not that California, not that California, excuse me. And more importantly, what we're probably going to talk most about today is owner, chief barman, toilet installation manager, warehouse manager, HR, probably a wee bit of A&E, medical supervisor, and everybody else's dog's body for the Rock Bottom Bar based in Falkirk. How are you, my man?
I'm very good. I think, honestly, right now it's mainly about cleaning the toilets.
To be fair, that's better than trying to build an emergency exit and knock walls down and whatever else was going on the last time. Well, that was probably just before we spoke to you the last time, but it's been it's been a bit of a journey getting this place open.
Well, thank you so much for reminding me that.
Mate, I told you this is what this episode's all going to be about. I'm basically all those scabs that you thought had healed up. I'm picking them back off the night and reminding you of that. And I joke. In all honesty, the place it looks awesome. The beer lineup is just about perfect, and but it's getting there. And
Do you know I work for a brewery?
yeah, I've got to throw that in early. And it's really refreshing to have, a venue like yours finally open and, showcasing not just good beer, but supposedly good music as well. And then taking it on. So,
What do you mean supposedly good music?
well, I've never heard whoever's playing. Like, I've got to admit, like it could.
That's
like,
just because you're on the hippity hop.
Well, they're doing a rap night, so we're going.
Oh, yeah.
We've got hip hop karaoke that we're going to have. We're going to headline again. That's fine.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
and
Oh, Christ.
so Andre, how's life been for those that haven't followed your story on like I was going to say on LinkedIn, but on like Facebook and all the rest of it? I think obviously Gav he'll have the links on this when we go live, so click and make sure you follow. But how's life been with getting this open? And then how has it been since you've kind of opened the doors finally?
So it was pretty good. The measure of that is we're not going past yet, and we opened, 23rd of December, which is like, hey, January, how are you doing? So, pretty good. The biggest worry I had was that people in Falkirk will prefer cocaine over beer. Nah, mate, we selling sours. We selling 11% barrel aged stouts from Sinister Brew for £8 for half a pint.
Wow.
So, obviously from time to time, there's somebody who's like, what the fuck are those prices about? Does that come with a 3-course meal or something?
Yeah.
But honestly, it's like the response was amazing. Just the Falkirk Council has 60,000 people the city or town on its own is like 40,000.
Yeah.
There's not a pub for bored midlife crisis, 40 years old, white male, pretty much. Hello, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we found it, but it's not just the beers. Obviously, we're getting feedback like, I never believed we're gonna have a NEPA on tap.
Yeah.
There's been pregnant ladies coming out with a group for the first time, like in 8 months, just because there's been the only pub probably ever in Falkirk that's got non-alcoholic beer on tap.
Wow.
Kudos to Billow Brew Co. I have no idea where they are, but the shit that they make is just amazing. Non-alcoholic stout they make, mate, it's flying. Anyway, yeah, it was pretty good. So able to pay the bills, still juggling invoices like hot potatoes. So
yeah,
I wouldn't have expected anything less from you, mate.
Yeah.
I think the thing to like properly highlight is, but this has been a lot of hard work, and if you've been following Not That California on Facebook and stuff, you'll be right up to date with it. Because it was a struggle just to get the doors open. So much so that at one point you were like, "Is this even worth fucking doing it?" You made all that effort to do the building work, to get the place ready to go, and then you got slapped with this ridiculous fucking letter from the council asking for bills and shit a year in advance, which was just nonsense. Talk us through that stage, because surely that was probably in the last kind of three months, potentially the hardest bit of it all, is going, you're building this dream, and then all of a sudden for the council it would just be absolute morons. And
honestly, I don't think that's completely correct, right? People think I'm complaining about completely different things.
Yeah.
So my problem is not that, we're supposed to be paying business rates.
Yeah.
My problem is not, we're getting people who still think just because the first day I didn't have a till, they were like, "Oh, you still don't take cash." There were people coming to the bar shouting, "Oh, no cash, no business. You don't deserve to survive as a business." I'm like, what the fuck, man? Just buy.
I think there's so many businesses nowadays that don't take cash.
So I'm like, how the fuck did you get the cash? Did you pay taxes on it when you made the money? While you were taking benefits or whatever. And when I say something like this, people are like, "Andre, you fucking Tory."
Yeah.
So it's more about like, if you or me want to make 10 grand, we're gonna have to work bloody hard for it, right? That's what the bill was for 10 grand. We were refurbishing, not just refurbishing, we were like, the place was completely empty. We were building new bathrooms, retaining walls, like everything. If that happens, you should get, I did not know that before, but you should get a Scottish assessor to assess the property, to evaluate what the rates are supposed to be. And during the refurbishments, it should be 0 rates, right?
Yeah.
Council is really only a debt collector for the state. So they, whatever your rateable value is, the only task they've got is to collect the money. My problem is not that they sent me the envelope or whatever. My problem is that if, it was 6 months, nothing, because everybody told me, you're doing all this work, it should be, 0 rates.
Yep.
It was my bad. I didn't check. Right, because like opening a new place is like navigating a bloody minefield. There's just so many regulations. The amount of stuff we had to, adhere to in terms of legislation, accessibility. Is like old pubs, they have no clue what we had to go through. For example, there's like this little vision panel that we had to mount to the entrance to the bathrooms, about 800 mil tall. Just so when you exit in the bathrooms, you can see the potential danger behind the door. We did it. Anyway, we're going to have to redo it. The glass is 100 quid. And we have to redo it because we're missing 15 mil because of the trim. 15 mil up top. Right? But anyway, let's go back to the bill from the council, right? So, like I said, if you or me want to make 10 grand, we're going to have to work bloody hard for it.
Yep.
They do. They send you a threatening letter in a white envelope that gets delivered to your neighbor. 16 days later, the restaurant that it got delivered to brought me the envelope. Immediately, I called the council and they're like, yeah, if you don't pay today, we're going to take you to court. I'm like, well, he's talking to you as well. Thank you very much for that information. Can we do something about no? Okay, well, excellent. Bye. If they send like, so, okay, I'm going to have to deal with that, set up payment terms or something, figure out, which we did. We set up payment terms, we're paying it off, even though we're going to be getting a refund. And usually it takes about a year to get a refund. But anyway, we're paying it off. And imagine that they sent an envelope when a new business takes over a property. Straight away, it'll cost them 50 pence for the envelope and the letter and 15 quid in time for the clerk to like fill in the right numbers. These are your options. This is like if you're going to be rebuilding the property, refurbishing, if the windows were completely broken, so it's not in a usable state at all, you could apply for a zero rateable value for the property. None of that happened, and that is my problem. That is supposed to be the support for new businesses, because like maybe not everyone is an arse like me that knows bugger all. Maybe everybody,
they're assuming that you have.
People, you should have know that. You should have researched that. Yeah, there is about a million things I should have researched. I ran out of money. I had to learn how to do ArchiCAD, so I can actually do the architectural drawings, all the changes and stuff. It was just so much pressure. But people think
so much. So I think the real positive bit, from that you put it on Instagram. It's not Instagram. You put it on the Facebook page and stuff. But the outpouring of support, I think, when you looked at all the comments and people just backing you, like that must have made you feel, you know what, there is a community here. There's people crying out for craft beer in Falkirk, in that area where it's just stupid fucking macro pub after macro pub. Surely that must have, when it felt shit, when it did feel shit, and you see those comments coming, going, you know what, there is a need for this, and people want us to be there. That must have felt a little bit of positivity and made you feel good. You know what, I'm doing the right thing here.
It's not just that; it was just amazing. In all honesty, all that stuff I was posting on Facebook, it's not that I've been crying in the corner of my room for the whole time. It was more of a, the council doesn't like bad PR. So I was stirring the waters. So when I found out that, the building standards officer won't talk to us at all, eventually I found out he was on his notice last 2 weeks in the job, so he didn't give a crap anymore.
Right, okay.
We got the local newspaper, we got an MP and five councillors to their office. So now they think I'm the most entitled prick in the whole of Falkirk. I'm just not entitled. Otherwise they right. But, it was good fun. But a lot of it was just to get the council moving. Because, once I knew that we're getting all this publicity and thousands of followers, I knew I can tap into that resource, if you know what I mean.
But that's what's required, though. That's what's going to initiate change. Is
I just feel sorry for all the small businesses that just don't have that.
Exactly, but this is what I'm talking about, Andre. Is you hear from the highest level, it's the death of the high street, it's town centres, people aren't coming to town centres, businesses are shutting down all the time. But if you walk down any town centre in Scotland or the UK, it's charity shops and betting shops and takeaways, and that's all that you can see. And then you get people like yourself that are wanting to try and start from the ground up, create a small business, try and be a success. And it seems as though the system's geared up to work against that rather than to support in every single way possible. You know, there should be, you know, you should be able to apply to the council to say, look, I'm starting up a new business, and then you should have a pack, or you should have somebody that guides you through the process to say, you know, this is what you need to do. These are the hoops that you need to jump through. These are the, you know, the T's that you need to cross, the I's that you need to dot in order for it to be as easy a journey as possible for you. But no, it's not.
Just to put stuff in the right place. It's not that everybody on the council is an arsehole. There's been a lot of really helpful people, really nice people. Maybe the worst people we're dealing with at the moment, I wouldn't call them bums. I'd say they very professional pencil pushers. But it's not like, you know, they haven't tried to be helpful. So I just want to put that out. It's not just like all the bad stuff.
The thing is, if it was all bad stuff, mate, you would never have opened, because they would have, you know, if it was all bad, someone somewhere with a bit of power would have came down with a, you know, with a guillotine and just been like, nah, this guy's causing too much riff-raff, you know, this craft beer movement, no chance, and the doors would have been slammed on you, and you know, you would have had no chance. But the positivity, like you said, is that, you know, as challenging and as difficult and as overly complicated as it was and will continue to be, unfortunately, the great thing about it is that the doors are open and you're showcasing not just your own beer, because I think that's the key aspect for me. You know, you have opened a venue that, in all honesty, you're doing your damnedest to showcase like other small businesses. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you have your own brewery, your own beers are on the bar. I've said this 100 times. It's a great way if you can sell your own beer in your own bar. Your margins are huge, you know, and all the rest of it. It's the way that you can make the most money on your own product rather than relying on distributors and paying for couriers and all that kind of stuff. And you get to control all that. But the thing that, for me, and I want to kind of really I want to talk about your beers, but I want to talk about other stuff at the same time, is that you're showcasing so many other Scottish and UK breweries. You know, you've reached out to so many different people, and you know, you've had the likes of, I don't even want to start naming breweries, to be fair, because, you know, when I looked at your taps the last couple of weeks, I was like, God, they're on, and oh, that person's on, and oh, that sounds like a good beer, and, you know, and I'm thinking, right. So for me, that's something that's, I'm guessing that's your kind of ethos. You're trying to showcase other beers.
It's more about like just the proposition for the people. I think that's what I wanted to do, to get people in. You know, even if somebody thinks that my beer is shite, which, you know, obviously some of them, you know, are better than the others. I've got ADHD, so every recipe is completely different from the others. But mate, we've got such support. We had a bit of a trouble with the distributor that I wanted to use originally for getting the beers in. And when I just posted it online onto the Facebook professionals forum, I got just such a incredible support from all the craft breweries that I was just looking up to. We got Falkirk. I couldn't imagine 2 years ago that anyone would be just drinking in a pub that doesn't have tenants. People drink. There's this South African guy who came to the bar a bit pissed, and for the first time in his life, he had a sour from Brewtown, mate. And he's like, "What is this amazing bubble gummy berry juice?" Gummy berry. He's just coming back, asking for gummy berry juice, whatever sour it is. He's asking for gummy berry juice. So I told the Brewtown guys, I think they might be naming a bay next. Something.
It was when
staggeringly good brewery. their habanero infused hazy is flying. He's just like unbelievable. What
God, folk in Falkirk will drink anything, eh?
about
know.
marketing Falkirk. He's just
It
awesome.
It was when you launched, and I don't know. I know you had the trouble with the distributor, and obviously we had a convo about that. And I was thinking, God, fucking typical. It's just another hurdle.
Everything is sorted now. They actually delivering there to us now, but
Good. That's
it
good
was
to
just
know.
a little startup hiccup.
That's good. It was when you launched the Yeasty Boys in Falkirk, as in like, and I was thinking, an iconic UK brewery that one of the OGs for me anyway. That I've built a reputation about everything that we love about beer and all the rest of it. And I thought the Yeasty Boys, and I was like, that's going to sell in Falkirk because of the name rather than the beer. I guarantee it. And it was when it posted, and I thought, it's just amazing. That's and like you say,
we got the Earl Grey IPA waiting to be tapped. It's like one of my most favorite beers, and that's going to go on soon.
We've went this far into the podcast. We've not even discussed what we're drinking to kick things off. So let's do what we normally do: go around the table and see what we're drinking on the podcast.
Let's go around the table.
Callum, kick us off, mate.
Well, I'm glad. I'm kind of glad we've waited 20 minutes to.
Yeah, I think we've
come to this.
I think it should be a new thing.
I think I've arrived at a decision. I think I've arrived at a decision that this beer is the best beer that I've had so far this year.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, I realise we're only in the 4th of February, but it still feels like kind of a bold claim. But this is the last beer from my Other World box, and it's called White Oak IPA.
Oh, classic.
So you guys obviously know what I'm talking about. This is the first time I've ever had this beer, so it's completely new to me. 7.4%, a strong butter golden IPA that's hopped with Hallertau Blanc and then aged for 6 months in white oak barrels. So it's like, it's tremendous. It's like a wine IPA, and it's just sweet but also dry. It's got that grapiness that you just love from that white wine barrel vibe. It's just amazing. It's really, really good. It's the best beer I've had this year so far.
That's an absolute stunning beer. I'm sure. I'm hoping it's a rebrew then, because I can't remember when we had it last, but I remember.
This has been in the can since August, mate. It's 22nd of August. This was canned last year, so it's been in the can for quite a while. But it's delicious.
So, Otherworld are out. They're one of the best. Aye, I know they are. They're doing a lot of really good things, and I think they're on Andre's tap list at the moment as well. If we're able to pull that into the current conversation, or they were.
They always gonna be on. It's one of the breweries that just helped us launch when we ran out of money. Just we wanted to see this happen. Just sent me crap loads of pay. So they're always going to be on. Plus, they're good friends.
That's good stuff. Go on then. Go for it, MD.
I'm drinking a Callum delivery that showed up on the doorstep as I walked in, and thought, I don't have to overly think this. I can lift these straight to where we're going to record, and I need to whack it in the glass. So I have Elusive Brewing's Oregon Trail West Coast IPA, 5.8%. It's one of the OGs. It's one of the most, dare I say, one of the most classic West Coast IPAs in the country. Simcoe, Chinook, and Columbus. It's kind of got all that citrusy vibe. It's got a lovely pininess to it. It isn't as bitter as I remember it being, but that's maybe something to do with my taste buds more than anything else. But can I just say it's delicious? It's kind of everything. It's 5.8%, and I'm calling it a starter beer. Like, I feel like it's like a session West Coast IPA. Like, honestly, it is uber sessionable, which I know I shouldn't condone at 5.8 because but it is just.
Well, I'm
it's
buzzing to
so-
try. You're talking about changing taste buds, and you know we've ordered the box, and the guys have chipped in, and I've spread it out, and we've got the Oregon Trail, the double Oregon Trail, we've got the double midnight Oregon Trail, so the black IPA, and we've also got the red IPA or the red ale as well.
We've all got it.
But the last time we had double Oregon Trail, I really struggled. It was just too bitter for me, and it wasn't pleasant. But that'll probably be at least a year ago, maybe longer. So I'm interested to try it again and see if I can stomach it this time. I'm pretty sure I will. But
the red,
Guaranteed it'll be perfect.
that the red and the black IPA doubles. When I seen them, I just thought they're going to be outstanding. They're going
must
to.
have.
I felt like I should have So I'm currently down in Plymouth this evening while I record, and Vessels, a place called Vessels, is the local-ish craft beer shop, and they had all the Oregon Trails there. I picked up the double. Should have picked up the black IPA, but anywho, is what it is. Is what it is. I did also, however, pick up a beer from Lakes Brew, and with my background, it's going to fucking destroy it. But name is fantastic. Teeny Weeny Beanie is the name. 6.5% hazy double dry hopped IPA. This is granted, it is super fresh. But it's pineapple, passion fruit, really, really crisp and clean. Like a super soft, pillowy kind of body on it as well. The one bit that's and a nice dry kind of Nelson vibe to it in the backbone, and it's coming from, and again, this could just be them playing with words. So it's brewed with Brew One, Galaxy Citra, and Mega Nelson.
Oh, hey.
Mega Nelson. I was like,
Take my money. Take my money. I don't even care.
Is that an American version?
I don't know. I was like, I've never heard of Mega Nelson. So whether it's just they're having a little play on words, I do not know. But I would love to know if Mega Nelson is actually a thing. But
If Mega Nelson is, I'm in.
Thoroughly enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. I was expecting a kind of plain Jane hazy, and it's not that at all. It's proper like pineapple juice and a pillowy, soft body on it as well, which is making it tremendously drinkable. And as you would expect with any Nelson beer, that kind of white wine dryness at the back of it just makes you want to keep going back and keep going back. So hats off to those guys, or beanies off, I should say, to those guys at Lakes Brew. Teeny Weeny Beanie. Fucking awesome name. Loving it. Andre, I hope you're on brand, my friend, and drinking your own beer, mate.
No. Wait, when you have like I literally live in the brewery because it's 3 meters away from my front door. So when you have 7,000 liters of your own beer at home, you really want to be drinking something, anything else. So I actually started a little early because my wife came home early, and we felt like we were going to have a beer. And because we now have beer fridges in like a regular bottle shop, and we have enough license as well in the pub, I found this company on Cellar. It's the Beers of America. So they importing fresh beers from the US, and we bought like pretty much everything they had in the portfolio. So I've had a Feral Garden Gnome, Belgian style blonde ale. So Belgian beer from America. I literally just finishing a Wild Leap Blueberry Lemonade Sour Ale, 5.5% from. Where is it from?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Like North or South Carolina, all them beers.
The Buffalo threw me off.
And cheekily, Matty, I noticed his logo was on your sponsors page when you started Sheep and Wolves Clothing. He made this beer, 3%. It's a hazy, Einsprinzessin, or something like that.
See if me or Mark or any of us
Please.
tried to say that, we would fucking destroy that. So you made
No
that
chance.
sound beautiful.
Einsprinzessin, yeah. So it's got chilies in it to add the bite, the alcohol bite to the beer from, that would be maybe missing a little bit.
Yeah.
That beer is flying at the tap room as well. So bit of a promotion for a local brewery.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Another shout out, Stanley as a beer. I've finished before we got to this stage. Payday Millionaire. They mentioned it when they were on.
Hey.
Stanley are just knock it out the park. This was fantastic. Double dry hopped IPA, 5.4%. Fantastic stuff. I could have bought literally the whole Stanley section. They were all there. Winnemucca, everything was there. I was like, Christ. I'm on because where I am in the world, I'm about 45 minutes away from the brewery. Typical, the brewery is shut on a Tuesday.
Yeah, well,
Otherwise, I would have went.
Yeah, it's really dangerous to have them fridges when you can just take stuff out of it. I call it homework. But I feel like my boobies already jiggle a little bit when I ran down. I shouldn't be taking too much homework, to be honest.
I would 100% be the same. Just turn the lights off. You walk by the fridges and I'll just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go.
One for
That's
me.
very, very dangerous.
They're quick.
But like you said, market research, making sure the beer is on point and it hasn't gone off. So you're doing yourself a favor.
I need to talk about it when the customer comes. I need to be able to talk about it.
Exactly.
Correct.
What's fresh? What's good?
It
So we mentioned obviously talking about the problems before starting up and etc. All those bits involved, but obviously you're up and running now. You've got to support the local community. For yourself, how has it been the first kind of what is it now? Probably 2 months, roughly, isn't it? Roughly 2 months now since you opened up. How has it been for yourself?
6
and
weeks.
6 weeks.
It was pretty good. No, I'm really optimistic because, like I said, we're making money. I can't pay myself anything because all the money just goes to all the suppliers. It's not just the beer, but the first invoices I had to pay was the fire alarm company. A lot of people. It was more like a community project, really. There was this magical grandpa that just appeared on my doorstep at one point, and he's like, "You look busy." I'm like, "Yep." How can I help? He's like, "Well, how can I help? I'm a retired joiner, and I've got bugger all to do."
Oh wow!
There's been a plumber who's who just came over, talked to me for about 10 minutes, and then he's like, "Oh, I gave you 500 quid in the crowdfunding campaign, so I'm a plumber, so don't you dare to spend 500 quid on plumbers."
Wow.
That kind of a community project, and there was at least 10 other people. We got an amazing sound system. We've got full PA, proper professional stage. There's a massive Scottish band, like a big festival headliner. I can't name them, but we still have boxes, because all the spare equipment that would be otherwise sitting in a storage unit is just on the stage. We got trusses with all the lights, like equipment I wouldn't be able to dream of. And they just put it in for free. They just want the place to succeed. So, for free. When the guy comes and he's like, "You need a sound engineer," and it's his equipment, I'm going to hire him, not somebody else. But it is thousands and tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Equipment.
I think the thing to mention as well for people that maybe listen further afield and haven't ever travelled to Falkirk, where you're situated is an old bus depot. I know it tremendously well because it was right opposite where I used to work when I was doing the bingo. Yes, you've taken over this place. You've You've made it your own. You've spent a lot of time and money getting up to the standard where it can be a venue for beer and for music. And hats off to you, mate. And there's lots of people within that local community within Falkirk who have obviously clearly been shouting out for somewhere where they can go and enjoy good beer, enjoy good music, and they're clearly getting behind you, which is fantastic.
So we posted on Facebook a Scottish music scene group. It's got like 12,000 members or something. Posted a post. I'm looking for good buns. Can you get in touch? You know, mate, it's got like 1,500 likes, 500 comments, 300 shares or something like that, and we filled with amazing bands. Like if you go to the therockbottom.co.uk/events, we are fully booked for like every Saturday and most Fridays till May, pretty much.
That's amazing.
I think Mark mentioned that before. We're gonna have a rap battle. There's going to be we still
please don't invite him.
I gave the guys a task to kind of make it a bit more balanced. So there's as many female artists as well as male, because usually it's a sausage fest. So they still looking to fill like few last spots for the female artists. But mate,
MD can put a wig on.
Like Glaswegian rap is just mind blowing. I'm an AC/DC guy, Led Zeppelin. This is awesome. This is going to be so good. We're going to have a jazz night. We're going to have Indian music.
That's wicked.
Night. It's going to be like,
When I seen that pop up, mate, I just thought amazing, because like you say, you're predominantly rock.
It's everybody's bedtime. I think everybody's
bedtime. There we go.
We're all saying night to children.
Oh, saying night to kids. Night.
Yeah. Okay. Go away.
Just seems like kind of 8:30 is bedtime. I'm hoping mine is already sleeping, mind you. Sorry, Andy.
No. It's fine. Like you say, we always the wee advert break for Kids Corner. Get what I mean? It's fine. It's all good. See, for me, what I loved about the when I seen the post about the rap and the jazz and everything, I was like, it's not just. We grew up in Bathgate. We ended up like we had the Dreadnought, which was the kind of the core place that you went if you liked rock music. But there was no other place that had, dare I say, no really other place that had like kind of live music when we were at that age. When you were
not that age.
Do you know
unless it was us that was putting on the live music. You know.
Do you not enjoy the Corner Nights with Ross Mitchell? No.
No, he's a prick. But that was for me, and it was always. And obviously, you guys all liked your rock music, right? Whereas, like, you know, if there's too much guitar, I was always like, "Fuck that, let's go like whatever." But what I liked about
go for hip hop music, and when you couldn't go anywhere.
No, but it wasn't even that. You know, well, that's what I like. But the point I'm trying to make about the Rock Bottom is that it's opening up audiences to wide, like it's another avenue to, like. You know,
you don't have to go to multiple places. You can go to one place and you're going to get that whole mix of genre of music. So you can get your jazz, you can get your hip hop, you can get a good bit of rock in there. And like you were saying, when we were growing up, you had to go maybe 2 or 3 places to maybe even.
We ended up going to Edinburgh, didn't we? We ended up going to Edinburgh.
What was that nightclub? The bloody it was three floors.
Espionage, man. Old school.
It might be that and like one floor was like all the hip hop and R&B, and one was like rock, and one was like dance music. Don't get me wrong, could I tell you anything about any of those nights? Nope. I just remember there was 3 floors or 4 floors, whatever. There might be just one.
Well, it's I call it so the Rock Bottom is not because it's going to be rock. It's literally where we were before opening. Complete and utter Rock Bottom. And it's not a rock bar, it's a music bar. So that's kind of what I want to follow. And to be honest, the first band that was on, it was a bluegrass alternative country. It's not my cup of tea, mate. But like the moment they started playing, I was smiling, and it was fun. It was awesome.
You know what you need to get a bit of country music, a bit like dancing.
So we got one.
I was going to ask.
Music. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, Kay, man. I end up talking over everybody. I'm sorry. Are you going to be doing things like karaoke nights and open mic nights and things like that?
Yeah, I'm going to leave this conversation now. No karaoke, mate. No. It's going to be so. My aspiration is like a baby version of King Tut's in Glasgow.
Right. Okay.
With Craft Bay, like, you know, obviously they got a bit of a head start, and it's an amazing venue that I love. And that's kind of like when I say we want to be like them, I'm not saying we want to be like them. I want to be like a baby version. On the weekends.
So what about open mic spots then? Are you going to? Is that something you're going to?
No, there's going to be open mic. But all the bands and artists, they still going to be vetted. There's been quite a few cover bands, you know, just trying to get around the rules that I've set. Like, can we hire the venue? I'm like, yes, but I'm still going to be vetting the music. So I want to go for original stuff. There's plenty of places in Falkirk that just play cover bands. To Stella drinkers, I call them. You know, it's just like listen to some Oasis, have a few Stellas to go and beat your wife and kids, and it's like, no, you're not doing that, mate.
That's not nice about Oasis fans. God almighty.
But that's good though that you're saying, you know what? No, I'm still going to vet it because I want just original bands and people that are looking to just have a platform, have a stage, and get in front of folk and just play their music. And like, that can be hard.
It's exactly what he's doing with the beer. And that's the kind of point I was trying to make in a long-winded Mark way of talking about the music, is that it's another showcase for independent. I'm saying Scottish, but the chances are they're going to be Scottish musicians, but they may not be. But at the same time, just independent, you know, bands, singers, artists, whatever you want to be called, and opening that up, and it's just really, really cool to see. And
I'd like to get bigger bands as well, like mid-sized festival headliners once a month, like Goldie Looking Chain. If you're watching, I'm after you. You know,
that would be ridiculous. Fuck.
What's your capacity, Andre? You know, for a band, if a band's listening, how many people can we cram in?
So that's one of the issues we're trying to resolve at the moment. So because it's a brand new place and we need to adhere to all the new legislation, there's guidelines on how many people you can have in a venue based on the amount of toilets you've got. So if you go to a pub next door that's got 300 people capacity and has got one crapper and 2 urinals, we've got 4 toilets and 2 urinals, and we can have only 130 people. Right. So we are talking to a landlord who's got still a couple of little units just next to us, next to the bathrooms. They filled with trash like our place was to the ceiling. So unless he's going to ask for some extortionate rent increase, we're going to take that as well. We're going to convert it to additional 4 bathrooms. And then the last thing, once it's all done, which is going to make a hole in the wall, and just add more toilets. And then the second limiting factor after that one is the amount of fire exits. So even though that calculated capacity would be 350 people, we're not going to be able to go over 250 unless we're going to add another fire door. And we're not going to do that. Never ever.
Makes sense.
Ever again.
Never again.
No, not doing that again. That's like all the there's just so many new things that you have to there's a lot of stuff that I completely agree with, like Equality Act of 2003, I believe, in Scotland. You know, I had to just cut out the beautiful bar I built. The bar is actually a local sports hall from a kids' prison in Falkirk, you know, young offenders prison, Palmont. We got there flooring as the bar top. I had to cut it to pieces because, again, I missed a little bit of legislation, and you need to make it available for a wheelchair user to slide underneath the bar, place an order. All of that stuff we've done without a single word. And actually, I believe we might be the only fully accessible pub in Falkirk at the moment.
So basically, there's legislation that you as a new business has to adhere to, and there's things that you have to do to satisfy this legislation. But if there's an existing place that's been open before this legislation come in, are the rules different for them?
Well, no, unless they close down for refurbishments, and they're gonna need a building warrant to actually do those refurbishments. They can stay as they are. So there could be venues, open that have one toilet for 400 people. If it was before, they can stay open. It's not a problem. That's one of the reasons why there's no new pubs. There's a takeover of an existing venue of something like that, but no new spaces popping up. And obviously,
things like that you don't think about though, really.
Space, I was like, I'm taking it, and I'm gonna worry about all the important stuff later. So,
to be fair, hats off to you, Andre, because like you said, you've seen this space and you thought, fuck it, we'll take it, and we'll, like you said, we'll deal with the consequences later. Talk about, obviously you've got an extensive kind of tap list. What have you got currently on that people listening to the podcast can get down to the rock bottom and sample right now? And what have you got ready to rock and roll?
So there's amazing brewery. I
want to hear about your stuff as well. I want to hear about your stuff.
I thought you wanted
not just the guest stuff, no, your stuff, man. Your stuff.
17 guest beer lines.
The stuff that you're brewing as well. That's the most important.
There's at the moment we got, it's a bestseller of ours, probably because of the name and the pink color. Yeah, filthy bastard. It's a milk stout. It's on nitro. That one's flying, and we actually got two stouts. It's the only core beer we've got are two dark beers. The other one is Back to Black. It would be very similar to Guinness. I was trying to research how much dark grain, when they're gonna add it to the process. Sneakily through documents and everything. The only difference I think they're using an ale strain. We are using a lager strain, so it's a black lager. So it would be what would it be? I forgot.
Oh boy, that's more like
a Budvar Dark type.
No. Budvar Dark is just completely different bay. So we actually have Budvar and Budvar Dark as well, because it's one of the last Czech beers that is still Czech, like Staropramen still, is an English bay now.
Yeah.
So
that's a Molson Coors favourite. That.
So you pouring Budvar on keg, or is that?
Yeah. So we got Budvar and Budvar Dark.
Side pour.
Yeah, side pour. We got Lucrataps.
Yes.
For the Budvar.
I'm chuffed about that because I remember the last time we spoke to you, Andre, we just had Budvar on the podcast. It's probably about a year since we had you on chatting, and we just had Budvar on, and we spoke at length about the old Czech pour and the side pour taps and how you were dreaming of having that in your own place and stuff. So I'm really chuffed that that's come to fruition.
There's still stuff to do. I got next to the tap, I've got a Belfast sink. It's not plumbed in yet. So what I want, right underneath the bar, underneath the sink and the tap, is a chiller. So there's going to be a recirculation of 0.5 degree water from the tank. So you pull a tankard, proper mug, out of the cold bath, give it a quick rinse, just that sprayer that comes from the tap, and just pour a pint. In the UK, most pubs, they think they have to serve it in a dry glass. No. And if somebody's going to complain that he's got that there's head that they want to top up, I'm going to pour it over into a sissy glass, and like David Beckham, I'm going to scrape the top and give them a full pint that they're going to spill on the way to the table. And I don't think I'm going to see them again in the bar.
There is an actual skill in pouring the side pour, though, mate.
Yeah.
It is fucking hard. I remember when Radim gave me a shot at one of the festivals, and he was like, "I'm away to do something," and he was like, "Just pour yourself if you don't mind managing and pour a couple of pints." I ain't bother. And I was like, no bother. Poured this first side pour, and it was like, I would say 90% foam. Like, it was like ridiculous. I was like,
Rico.
fuck. But it makes such a difference, so it really is like, it's. I'm glad you've got that sorted, because I think obviously we're big fans of the beer and
massive fans.
The black IP is cool. What other than Filthy Bastard? What?
So I got a slightly peated brown lager. There's no story behind that. I was just drunk one day and I thought it's going to be a good idea. Put the grains together. It is actually like selling it really well, which surprised me because I don't like it myself.
Smoke, mate. It's Marmite. Like it's
like
I can't.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
I don't like
No,
it.
it's smoky beer. Peated. It just doesn't. I would not buy it.
when you got a Rauchbeer, and somebody made it for the first time, it usually tastes like an ashtray. This is just so subtle that you have to think about it, and it's more like a subtle aftertaste that comes through. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to the roasted malt, it's actually brown malt and very little, so just to get the color. So it gives you, like, imagine halfway house to the stout.
Okay, that's such a cool idea.
We got fresh. I call it fresh. So it was cold as hell, and I didn't want to do a big brew. So what I did, I took my all-in-one kettle. And you know what? I'm going to do a homebrew in a 30-litre keg, and I'm going to put it on the bar. I used a Scottish extra pale malt, only Hercules hops, which are like, I love Hercules hops. They got about 13% alpha. So you need very little to bitter the beer. And then I used it in Whirlpool, in dry hop. And then the last bit, I got a sample of a Motueka extract from a Kiwi company. It is, what is the, not nitro hops. I'll remember the name.
And they Spectra.
No. It's a New Zealand company.
Oh, no, the company name. Sorry, I thought you meant the name of the hop.
Anyway,
sorry.
so the Motueka is really just like it is 250 ml bottle.
So it's like proper liquid hops, yeah.
Like full extract from 5 kilos of hops. That's what they claim. Anyway, so I added 20 ml out of that bottle into a 30-litre keg. And mate, that thing, it's still got bits. It's like when you're drinking an orange juice. I didn't filter anything because it went. So I couldn't be bothered. It was cold as hell in Scotland. So I'm like, if I'm gonna put it in my 30-litre fermenter, I'm gonna have to take it home, and it's gonna ferment really, like, it's gonna go crazy hot even for a quake. So I actually left it in the kettle, brewed on the chub. Like fermented on it, and I set the thing to be 100 watts only, so it never was enough power to reach the temperature, so it was like heating it up in the brewery when it was -5 or something, and the base is just amazing.
That's actually quite a cool idea. I'm just thinking that, like, I've got the exact same kit in the house, so I'm thinking I'm gonna brew a beer and then be like, Andre, I need a keg to get this into for your bar, mate.
Yeah, that would be illegal unless you're registered as a brewery.
Well, I'm sure we can.
You can.
I'll
you
get
can
Gav to
bring it-
scrap that 100 thing out, and then we could just put your name on it. That's fine.
No. What you can do is to just put it on the trailer and bring it to the brewery. So when you transport it, before you add the yeast, it's just sweet tea. So if you bring it, we add the yeast.
So I just need to drop it off at the brewery and then
Come on.
pitch my yeast, and then I'm sorted.
So what we actually going to do is originally the whole Not That California project started during pandemic, and the plan was to we bought crap loads of stainless steel fermenters. We got like 40, 50 liter, 30, 50 liter SS Brewtech fermenters, and we were 6 or 7 all-in-one kettles, and we were taking them to the customers, connecting them to Zoom, and just talking them through the brewing process like an experience at home. When the pandemic started, everybody was like, can I just buy the beer? I can't be arsed. So now I'm stuck with 50 fermenters. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a homebrew club in Falkirk, and we're going to brew in the pub. We're going to get drunk during, on Wednesday, let's say. And then, well, somebody's going to have to drive my truck to get the beer all the way to the brewery, because I don't want to be the only one sober in the room. We're going to take it to the brewery, and if the beer is drinkable, we're just going to put it on the top. And whoever brewed it is drinking from that keg for free.
All I'm going to say is
Take my money.
Shadow 12 might appear.
Hi. And Shadow 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and fucking 1 for sure. Can I just interrupt slightly to discuss this beer that I've opened? Because it's
Looks quite red, mate. Looks quite red.
it's not red at all.
Is it not? Is that just the double?
This is the double black IPA West Coast.
I went just double.
Aye,
Oh, of course. Oh, wow, it's black.
So I seen Gav open the double, and I thought there's no point like us talking about the same beer. And this is just everything that you want from a black West Coast IPA. It is like bitter, and can I just say I'm putting a wee thing out to this. Like everybody that listens to this, I like dark and West Coast beers and all the rest of it, right? This has got a bit of backbone to it. So if you've put your helmet on, like
I'm scared already.
No,
that's a new one. Get your helmet on, but that's a t-shirt.
Put your helmet on. On others. It is full. It's full bodied, right? But it's like it's got the coffee. It's got the bitterness to it. It's moreish, and an 8% beer shouldn't. I'm saying it shouldn't make you want to drink more and more and more of it, but it honestly it is. It is just everything that like this style of beer. Or it's undeniably awesome. I've got to admit, like for me, and yeah. This if the other two live up to this, then fuck. And I said this at the start of the year. We spoke about breweries that I wanted to try more of, and Elusive was on that list for sure because of this set of beers. It's just
this for me is should be more hype than Putty, or that this set of beers. I'm having the double IPA. 8% West Coast, and to your point, Callum, when you were saying last year you felt it was too bitter. I feel like it's potential. This might be me and my taste buds changing and stuff, my palate changing. I just want it to be more bitter. Like I go back. My head goes back to 99 IBUs from Overtone, and it's not as bitter as that at all. Granted, that was fucking. That was ridiculous.
That's fucking toilet duck.
That made your eyes water.
The thing is about the 99 IBUs was it was bitter. I felt like it lacked full flavor though. Like it hit you with all the bitterness, and it was all right. I just felt like it was like you're trying to be bitter for the sake of being bitter, but I'm
Exactly.
hoping this has got I'm hoping the flavour in terms of is there. Like,
And to your point,
What
to
you
that
drinking,
point
Andre?
there, to that
No,
point
no.
there, apologies.
Oh.
It's got that like caramel kind of malty notes coming through, that pininess coming through as well. So you do get those after notes that you want from a West Coast, and that gulp that I've just took there now, I've taken a gulp, I've said those words, and then all of a sudden it's pine trees just coming through my mouth right now. So, aye, superb beer.
You know
superb.
what is funny? It's like when I hear you talking about the beers, it almost sounds artistic. So the next thing that's going to
Thank
come
you.
out of my mouth is going to sound like I'm a drunk 15-year-old. Look what I
Well,
noticed. The American cans are bigger than the UK ones.
Aye, after 6 years, we're getting not too bad at describing beers
good.
other than just using the normal bingo words.
well,
Well,
The thing
that's
is-
always the positive about buying American cans, like because they're always bigger.
Aye, always
Everything's bigger in America. That wee extra half-inch makes all the difference, Andre. That's right.
that's what she said.
That's what. Ah, you bastard.
Lucky man.
I know. If you can make that up, then I. We've got halfway through. So we've spoke about kind of. Did we spoke 2 beers you've got on? What more have you got on other than the 2 that we mentioned? Have I mentioned 3 or 2?
Oh, me.
I lost track.
Mate. I got the
The beers you've got, your beers you've got in tap, Andre.
I always
Sorry.
forget because like I'm focusing on the beers I got in front of me.
No, I want to know about. I want to know
sorry.
about you, more of your stuff, man.
Remember, there is a Kvike Pilsner.
Oh, yes.
It is so the first time I used Kvike, it was I was like, "Are you sure we're supposed to be fermenting it this hot?" So I spoke to a friend of mine, Logan Bartlett from the Sinister Brew, and he's like, "I found out the sweet spot is 39C." So I went for it. 39C. I'm telling you, like day and a half to ferment like 1,500 liters of beer easy, and you have to let it sit for. But actually, like so people think Kvike is going to allow you to make beer super fast. It's just half the truth because it'll ferment super fast, but then you have to let it sit for awful amount of time to clear. At least in my experience. But anyway, it's got like this stone fruity backbone on it, and it's really nice.
So how long did you let that sit for then? If it's a Pilsner, how long was that sitting in tank before you could drink?
Mate, in a tank. So I knew that we're going to be opening a tap room. It's just one of the oldest kegs that I was saving for the tap room because I knew that I'm going to need to have a selection and change them all the time.
Yeah.
So I just had a section in the chiller that was just like, I'll put the beer in here, and whenever we're going to open, we're going to start serving from them. So this one was probably like 2 months in a tank and another 6 months in the chiller, just sitting in the keg.
Yes, bet that's amazing.
It is a bit like when you have a Budvar and that one next to it is darker. It's more fruitier, obviously. So yeah, it's more like a Pilsner for drunk people because they don't mind anymore and stronger. It tastes really nice. It's like to be honest, even the original Kvike lager, we called it a lager just because otherwise the local tractor
Nobody
driver,
knows what a Pilsner is, exactly.
Exactly.
um,
Exactly. You get a tenant drinker walks in and goes, Pilsner, what the fuck is that? Just fucking
lager.
Do you like Kunsel juice? Yeah, you'll like it.
Do you like kids or just
You
other than
talking
that,
about
obviously
the tonic vine.
exactly. Extensive range of guest beers. Who who, like, obviously you've got, like we said, extension guest beers at the moment, but who would be the brewery or the beer that you want to get in on tap at some point this year, or to work with a brewery to get it in there on the rock bottom bar?
So we were talking about the Yeasty Boys. I already got the keg in the pub. It's just waiting to be like put on. So it's the Earl Grey IPA. I think Guan Mata. That was like one of the first beers that I was like, "Fucking hell, this is awesome."
Yeah, that is a good beer.
And then I want more ciders.
Wrong.
No, mate.
No.
No, hold on. You just said cider.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off. No. Cut him off.
I mean, you can have. He's got enough. He's got enough
one,
tap.
No. Hold on.
You got like five different lagers on.
You should have one cider on the bar.
There's at least two minimum. One
two.
plain or cloudy, and then fruited cider.
Bingo.
So it's
Stick it in the fridge.
Magners and all of these back sweetened craps. I'm talking about a beautiful dry cider like you'd get if you go to north of Spain to the Basque country, and you're getting served like out of them 20,000 barrel massive barrels.
Mark, I'm afraid you're wrong here, Mark.
I'm
Can you just
100% right, and you are all either really drunk or delusional. Like there is no.
So are you getting Scottish cider, Andre? Yet?
Not yet. No. Not yet. There was one company because I was
Who is
penniless.
the Scottish? Who's Scottish cider like?
There's quite a few. I don't remember the names, but there's definitely one in Ayrshire.
No, fair play.
I don't remember the names.
I think also the thing you just reiterate, and I know we've already mentioned it, but you're also like championing like local breweries as well to yourself. And like I said, supporting local small businesses. It's difficult as it is, and there's not much, and you've experienced this yourself, and hence why you've opened up Rock Bottom, like selling beer into Falkirk and these places within the Central Belt and even further afield. It's difficult, and you're taking that opportunity that you've got this establishment now to look at more local breweries and go, you know what, we were in the same boat, so let's get you involved as well.
Honestly, I think I actually got lucky because we have no competition, none at all.
Exactly.
Right? So out of them 80,000 people that are within the vicinity or like taxi range, right, there's going to be a few hundreds of idiots who just like willing to pay a little bit of extra for
if it didn't have you, they need to go to Edinburgh.
Yeah,
that's it. That's exactly it. It's about local and creating. If I can walk down the street or get a taxi that's going to take me 5 minutes rather than a train that I need to work out what time I'm coming home, all that kind of stuff. It just makes life so much easier.
So when people start trying, like when somebody comes to the bar and like, what lager you got? I'm like, well, it's not going to be that simple, mate. So first, when they ask for lager, I'm like, we always give out samples. Whatever you want to try before you come in. It's 28 beers on the top. One of the reasons why we're a little bit more expensive because like we need to account for all the wastage because the amount of samples we give out is just staggering. But anyway, I'm like, I start with the crazy stuff. And most of them, even the old farts, they're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And then they just get the gummy berry juice, from Brewtown in Aberdeenshire. Or when I tell them that this Otherworld brewery, they're like, is that something English? I'm like, no, it's Dalkeith, mate. It's, it's almost local. They're like, oh, I'll have a pint of that.
That's
a massive kind of education for the local people in Falkirk. Andre, well, before we finish up here, I want to give an opportunity. what have you got coming up in terms of events and stuff at the Rock Bottom, and also people that want to get hold of Not That California beer? Where is the best place to do that? Also, so there's two pieces to that there.
So at the moment, so because the farm where we are, it's I had a bit of a fight with Falkirk Council before. They said we're going to struggle to get a license to sell beer directly. So our beers are on cellar for the B2B business. Luckily, because we have a pub and we have enough license, in about, I think, because we're still on the occasional licenses, with the next 2 or 4 weeks, we're going to have a license to actually send beer. And when we do have that, there's going to be a Scottish Beer Club, and all the beers that are available, like, from local breweries, we're going to be making mix and match boxes to collect, to send, to deliver locally as well. So everything that is going to be in the beer fridges, obviously all our beers, they're going to be available. I've got an e-shop ready to go on the website of the California. It'll be sold by the pub, because that's going to be the licensed premise. But we will have that. We are about, probably 4 weeks away from being able to do that. Regarding the music, we've got some amazing bands. I put together a website last night that's got all the calendar, all the upcoming events. If you go to rockbottom.co.uk/events, you can see all the artists coming up. And what I did is every time I included a link to a Spotify account, it converts it into like a listening widget. So you can listen to all the music that's coming up. If you want to come support us, come on the 15th of February. There's a Czech band, top 25 overall in charts, punk band, coming over. When you listen to them, it'll be probably like me listening to radio before I learned English. But they know how to do it. Like, it's going to be apocalyptic. I told the boys to bring all the dodgy booze they can find at the airport, and we're going to have that behind the bar, and it's going to be massive. And plus we're going to be doing food now as well, end of the week. The local takeaways and local restaurants. I'm just installing, I'm an Apple person, but I've got crap loads of Android tablets here now, because they're all getting a printer in the kitchen, and we're going to be literally just using them as kitchens. So they're going to be getting orders for whatever you order, and they're just going to bring it over the street into the venue, and we're going to take it to the table with cutlery and condiments.
That's a great idea. I remember that the Fierce guys do that up in Aberdeen, and it was just such a cool experience. You're sitting having a couple of pints, and you think, I'm actually pretty hungry, and so instead of leaving the pub, you just say, "Oh, have you got?" Yeah, and they just give you a tablet, and you say, "There's 4 takeaways that are nearby, and you can just pick what you want." Table, 21, boff, and it gets delivered to you.
We did that with Scott, and I did that last year, and we were in Leith for Calabageddon, and we were in the camper van tap room, Lost in Leith. And that was it. We ordered pizza on the app, and then 5 minutes later, the guy turned up in a scooter and walked in with the 2 pizzas. We're like,
you know, 3 little pigs in Falkirk.
Aye, yeah.
Best healthy takeaway, not healthy at all. No. Best takeaway in Falkirk. So they're going to be cooking for us. So we're going to be. They pretty much they don't have any seating stuff. So we're going to be their restaurant pretty much. The faraway pizza. So if you go out with your mates, you don't have to decide to get Indian, Pakistani pizza or, dodgy fried food. Because it's all.
You can have it all.
You get very fit from all. As Andre said, make sure you go and check out the websites, Not That California. And therockbottom.co.uk for the biggest music craft beer hall in Scotland. I'll say that right here, right now.
We think.
I think so as well. 26 lines, and it's just like literally, if you like your beer, you like your music, this is the place you want to be going to 100%. And we're looking forward to getting down there ourselves in the very near future. Make sure you, at the same time, you go over to Instagram and Facebook and all that as well, and search Not That California, search the Rock Bottom Bar as well. Literally, you will not be disappointed. The beers are fantastic. The guest beers are fantastic. The fucking venue is fantastic. And yeah, fucking genuinely, mate, hats off to you, because it's been hard work, and fingers crossed, you mate. We are backing you to the heath, because hats off to you, man.
Thank you so much.
You have done an awesome job. While you're at it as well, as always, if you've not already liked, follow, and share the Beerfish podcast, make sure you do so as well. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating, and you can show your official support also by going to patreon.com/Beer Fridge Podcast. We've got some big things coming this year. Potential festivals, potential other bits and bobs. So make sure you are liking and following everything. Until next time, for myself, Gavin, MD, Callum, and Andre, we appreciate you coming on. And we cannot wait to do a podcast on that stage with that amazing PA system. But until next time, cheerio, bye.
Good loot.
1, 2,